Hello, welcome to our first video on patterns, and this one focuses on pattern rules. So this is how you would describe a pattern that is given to you. It could be a pattern using numbers or it could be a pattern using shapes, but in either case you can turn that into a pattern with numbers. So these are the key words that we must be using when we describe a pattern with a pattern rule. Start with whatever number, increase by if it's an increasing pattern, decrease by if it's a decreasing pattern, and each time. So we have a pattern here for 8, 12, 16, 20, and so on. So to write our pattern rule, we have to say start with or start at. And that's really important because if we don't say where to start, then we don't really know what the pattern will look like, because we could be starting at 0 or we could be starting at 1. So we have to say how the pattern starts. So start with 4. And now, is this an increasing or a decreasing pattern? Well, the numbers are going up, so it is an increasing pattern. So we're going to say start with 4 and increase by. Now we need to know how much the pattern is increasing by. Well, from 4 to 8, we add 4. 8 to 12, we add 4. 12 to 16, we add 4. And 16 to 20, we add 4. So of course, it's increasing by 4. So start with 4 and increase by 4. And then finally, each time. Now, sometimes the pattern will not be increasing by the same number each time. So let's look at one like that. In this case, if I were to assign numbers to each of to this pattern, we start with 3, and then when we add the second shape, we're adding 4, which makes 7, and then we add 4 again, which makes 11, but the next time we're not adding 4, we're adding 3, which makes 14. And then we go on to adding 4 again and adding 4 again, and so on. So as you can see, it goes triangle, square, square, and then it repeats triangle, square, square, triangle, square, square. So it starts with 3 and it adds 4, adds 4, adds 3, and then it continues the same pattern. Add 4, add 4, add 3, add 4, add 4, add 3. So we're going to still begin our pattern rule with the same words. Start with or start at. So we're starting with 3, and then we add 4, and then we add 4 again, and then we add 3, and we keep repeating that same 3 pieces. So start with 3 and add 4, then add 4, then add 3, and repeat. Finally, we have to add each time. So your pattern rule should end with the words each time. So it is a little more complicated because you're not adding the same number each time. So it's a little bit of a longer rule. So you have to be very careful that you look at each element in the pattern to make sure you know how much it's increasing by each time. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you.